second-year nursing student at UM6. I'm here today to share with you guys my personal journey with mental health struggles and ultimately healing and self-discovery. Mental health is a topic that so many of us avoid, especially in societies like ours. And for a long time, I was one of those people. I struggled silently, afraid to show what I thought was weakness. I was afraid to be seen as different or broken. But as time went on, I started more struggling. I felt weak, I felt more anxious. And also, my mood was swinging unpredictably. One day, I would be bursting with energy, and the other day, I couldn't even get out of bed. But I told myself, it's just life. It's normal. I'm just being moody. But things started getting worse after that. And I was afraid to admit that something was wrong. I ignored all the signs. I couldn't focus on my life. I felt overwhelmed, more anxious, and I ignored my own needs. So, after that, one day, I finally decided that I need to seek help. And also, I went to see a psychiatrist for the first time. The first session wasn't easy at all. I was stressed, I was anxious, and after it, I thought even of not coming back. But I did put myself together, and I had the courage to go for the second time. Unfortunately, my first diagnosis was wrong. I was taking the meds prescribed, but they were treating some symptoms, but they were making others get worse. I didn't give up, but this time, I went to seek therapy with a therapist, and that was the best thing I've done, because my therapist gave me a safe space to expose my emotions, to confront my fears. And he made me understand that it's not just about fixing, but it's about self-discovery. Despite all this progress, where I did break everything in my room, I screamed, I cried, and I did hurt myself. And this time, my therapist took me to a new psychiatrist. When I went to her, she suggested I take a break and I stay in a psychiatric clinic. But I refused. Why? Because of the stigma around it. It felt like admitting I was crazy. I didn't want to. I always told them I will take a break, but I can't stay in a mental hospital. So I took a break. It was a 2 weeks break away from my environment, away from the campus. And then, after coming back to the campus, things weren't as I expected. I faced so many problems, so many rumors, while I was still in my healing phase, in the most sensitive phase. And one day, I did hit rock bottom again. I did hurt myself. I even thought of hiding it. But then, I was like, no, I'm not gonna hide it this time. And I went and I told my therapist about it. And this time, when he suggested I stay in a psychiatric clinic, I said yes, because it was the best for me. I still remember the last words he told me before they closed the doors on me. He said, I prefer you would be disturbed for a bit of time, and then you would be relieved for the least of your life. The first 3 days there weren't easy. It felt cold. I felt alone, I felt empty, and I felt lonely. I cried, and I even regretted my own decision, and I wanted to go back to my life. But then, something switched. I started meeting new people. I started sharing my story. I started hearing other people's stories. And I started engaging in the activities they do in there. I started enjoying life there. And finally, I saw a light in the end of the tunnel. So while staying in there, I was monitored by a psychiatrist and a therapist every day. And while staying there, I didn't just heal. I learned so many things. I learned patience, I learned calmness. And the most important thing that I learned is that seeking for help isn't a weakness. After getting out of the psychiatric clinic this time, I felt really healed. My story today isn't just a personal story. It's a societal issue because the stigma around mental health problems affects everyone. That's why I want to emphasize something, which is kindness. Be kind. Sometimes a simple word can make the difference. Sometimes a simple "I'm here for you" would help the person not feel weak. Because we never know what's going on behind the scenes. A smile doesn't mean always that the person is happy. That's why we not judge, but support and listen. And I would want to see us, the new generation, one day standing all together, facing and breaking the stigma for a better world for us and for the next generations coming. My message for you guys is it's okay. It's okay to feel weak sometimes. It's okay to ask for help, because taking care of yourself is not something you should be ashamed of. And here I am, today, 12 days after getting out of the psychiatric clinic. I decided to apply to this opportunity while I was still in the psychiatric clinic. Why? Because I wanted my story to help other people, the same way my therapist helped me. And for that, I would want to thank him for being a candlelight in my darkness. I'm a living proof now that help works, that healing is possible, and that there is always hope. So never give up. Thank you all.